My fiance has walked out on me 4 days before the wedding to go find himself in Asia. That's right, we have some wedding drama. Better you than me. My fiance, Jack, and I have been together for 4 years. We own an apartment together. We rarely argue. It was the happiest, least problematic relationship I've ever been in until now. I don't understand. He proposed to me last year, and we've spent the last 9 months saving relentlessly for our wedding. Venue booked, all of the guests invited, both of us were so excited. I know we both individually had some bouts of nervousness, especially as the date got closer. But as far as I know, it was just the excitement and buildup. Jack never expressed any doubts about our relationship, and I have no idea why this has happened. Yesterday, 4 days to go, and I came out of the bedroom in the morning to see Jack sitting in the living room looking like he's about to throw up. I immediately felt that something was off. He sits down next to me and starts telling me how he doesn't feel the same anymore and hasn't for a while. He said he thought getting married might fix things, but now he knows how stupid that is. To be honest, I don't remember the majority of what he said. The only thing I could hear was my heartbeat drumming in my ears. He then told me he booked a one-way ticket to Asia and that he didn't know what he wanted anymore out of life, and that this would give him some perspective. And just like that, he got up and left, and I haven't heard a word from him since. I must have spent 3 hours sitting on the sofa staring into space. I can't even cry. This doesn't feel real. Reddit, what the F do I do now? He has switched his phone off. I have no idea where he is. I don't even know if he's actually booked a ticket, but a lot of his clothes are missing. He's actually packed for a trip, but I just don't know if this is some sort of sick joke. I feel like my heart has been ripped out of my chest. What do I tell people? What should I do? Where do I even start? Full panic mode. Like full mental breakdown would be happening for me right now. Your whole world just flipped upside. You have no answers. How can we give you answers when you don't even have answers? You know what does have the answers? The final update. So let's see how this plays out. My guess is maybe he's with someone else and has been, and then he just took off to go be with them.
That could happen.
I don't know. That's all I got. Those who thought it might be Jack's idea of a prank, it unfortunately was true, and he is certainly in Bangkok with a friend from high school. He must have been arranging this for months. The visa and injections for Southeast Asia alone take at the very least 4 weeks of planning ahead. I have not spoken to him since the day he walked out, but his parents rang me the next day after I made my post. They told me he was staying with a high school friend and that he was due to fly out the day after what was supposed to be our wedding day. He told them he plans on staying there for at least a year. He must have been saving on the side as our joint account has not been touched and most of our paychecks went to our wedding fund and mortgage. It is sickening to consider how long he may have actually been planning this. Jack's parents like me, but they are very cold people and they didn't have much else to say other than offering me advice and apologizing for their son's behavior. Since that phone call, I've heard nothing from them, although they did ask me to contact them regarding the apartment at some time in the future, which I plan to sell. I will be moving back in with my parents as soon as I find a buyer, as I can't pay the mortgage alone, although Jack's parents said that they will pay his half until then. Well, isn't that nice? It is nice of them. As for the wedding, a lot of people suggested I give it to charity or go through with the party anyway. I wish I could say it went to good use, but I actually spent the day with my brothers and bridesmaids, crying for about 16 hours in between sleeping. There's no way I could enjoy that day. How? How could you possibly? Couldn't be me. I'll be over here crying, thanks. They made sure I was eating and we watched a few films together, but overall it was probably the worst day of my entire life. I left it up to my parents to contact people and haven't gotten involved with the logistics of canceling. I don't know if we got any money back. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. From what I understand, an email was sent out explaining the wedding was canceled and apologized for how much inconvenience that would cause. The email asked that no one contact me about what happened and if people had any questions to speak to both my parents or my brothers. My parents had a gathering at their house for those who had booked flights and hotels with some of the wedding food. I keep forgetting that this was just a couple days before the wedding, so some people already had traveled. A nightmare. Also, some drinks and stuff. I know around 50 people ended up going. I guess it was sort of a party, but my cousin said the mood was obviously pretty bad. None of Jack's family came, of course. Other than that, I don't really know what else to say. I've taken some time off work, and my brother has also taken 2 weeks off to make sure I'm never alone at home. Everyone is just so hurt and angry and disappointed in Jack. I just feel absolutely numb. I still wake up in the mornings hoping this is a weird dream stemming from pre-wedding nerves. I don't know how I'm going to get over this, and I still love Jack so much. I feel like he's been possessed by someone else and that it's not him. I'm going to go to a therapist to help me come to terms with this. I feel like you need to. How else do you possibly try to make sense of this and process this in a healthy way? Because you have so many questions that you're not going to get answers to.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
My mind would never stop. Awful. Awful! Oh, imagine Matt did that to me. I don't think so. Sucker. Who wouldn't want to marry this, you know? After that. Next story. A woman pays up to pay for her wedding that we don't have in the diary. Her wedding is tomorrow. Oh boy, who's at fault here? Someone might lose their job. A large part of my job is answering phones and dealing with people who want to hire our large function room. In our town, our room is one of very few places to hold wedding receptions, birthday parties, all that. The process for hiring the room is quite simple. People ring up all the time and ask if the date they want is free. If it is, we place a hold on the date for 14 days. If we don't hear back from them, it opens up to anyone else that wants it. If they do decide they want it, they have to come in for an appointment with either me or my boss. We go through the booking form and we help them fill it out and we explain all the terms and conditions with them. Then they pay their deposit and the function gets written into the diary. We do not take deposits without a booking form, and we don't take booking forms without a deposit. You have to physically come in and hand them over. None of this is done online. We don't have a website. So fast forward to this morning with Bridezilla when she walks in with her mother. We have the text conversation. All right, so me, hi, can I help you? Bride, I'm here to pay the deposit for my wedding. Me, okay, let me get you a form and we'll go through it. What date did you book? Bride, tomorrow. The smile on my face dropped. We have a birthday party booked for tomorrow, so there is no way that she can have her wedding here tomorrow. Me, tomorrow isn't available. We already have a booking. Mother of the bride chimes in. You've double booked. You'll have to cancel the other booking. Me, we haven't double booked. If you haven't filled out a form or paid a deposit, then you haven't booked the room. When did you ask about the date? Mother of the bride. Last July. I remember because we came in before we went for my birthday lunch. Me, we only hold the date for 2 weeks. Someone would have told you that at the time. Bride, yeah, but it's a wedding. Me, the same rules apply. If you don't fill out a form and pay the deposit within the 2 weeks, we open it up to everyone else. Unfortunately, someone has booked the room. Bride, I did it all online. Me, what did you do online? Bride, paid for the room. Me, then why are you here today trying to pay for it right now? Bride, me, we don't have a website, so you actually can't do anything online. I see what you did there. I see what you did. Mother of the bride, she can't have the wedding here? Me, nope, sorry. Then they left. There was no shouting or anger at me, nothing. She just casually shrugged her shoulders and walked away. I'm fully expecting the wedding party to turn up tomorrow, all kicked out. My boss then saw her throwing a huge tantrum on the road outside of our building. Can you imagine? We have an update. I'm curious if they just showed up like, I'm ready for my wedding. I was at work by myself for most of the afternoon after Bridezilla had left. My coworker came in to take over for me for about 10 minutes. I filled her in on everything that's happened that day, including what happened with Bridezilla. The coworker makes a comment about how she's glad she has nothing to do with the booking room, and that if she did, she would be getting the blame for the whole thing. I go into the back room to switch my shoes and get things together before I leave. I happen to glance at the CCTV monitor and I notice the Bridezilla is walking along the corridor. She walks up to my coworker, so I listen in. Oh, I'm so excited. Here's how it went down. Bride, hi, I'm wondering if you can help me. I'm attending a party tomorrow night and I need to make some arrangements with my friend whose party it is, but I've lost her phone number. I was wondering if you'd be able to find it for me. She's gonna try to contact these people and tell them, cancel your party, I want the venue. Coworker, sorry, I can't do that. Bride, it's okay, we're best friends. She really wouldn't mind. Coworker, I don't have access to that information. I couldn't give it to you even if you wanted it. They're coming in to decorate the room later on. You could come back then. Bride, there must be someone who can give me their number. My coworker comes to get me from the back room and asks if I've heard her. What the F would she want their number for? So I went out. Me, yeah, we can't give you that info. Bride, I don't see the big deal. Me, do you need it to tell her that you can't attend because you'll be at your wedding that she must not have been invited to? I can pass that message on for you. She then shrugged and walked out. I can only imagine that she was going to phone them and ask them to cancel their party so that she could have the room. The next day I'm at work pretty much all day. I have a word with the people having the party and I let them know that if anyone turns up and they haven't been invited, just let me know. We have a couple people who turned up looking for a wedding. We let them know about the mix-up and they don't seem surprised. A lady who said she was the groom's mother said she had only been told 3 days before about the wedding and that they've invited a bunch of people to a reception, but nobody knew when or where the actual wedding ceremony was. She had spoken to her son that morning and he said he would text the details, but apparently forgot. It's the most casual I've seen people be about organizing a wedding. That stresses me out. Not even my wedding, being that unprepared and last minute, anxiety. Next story, bridezilla sabotages bachelorette. I am co-maid of honor for a friend's upcoming wedding, and the other maid of honor, Clara, is a lovely and protective woman who is handling the bookings, financials, logistics for the bachelorette, which is a 3-day cruise. Y'all, that's what's going on with bachelorettes. I'm like, come over and let's throw on Hannah Montana and eat some freaking popcorn and call it a bachelorette. A 3-day cruise? I'm stunned. All right, can't relate, but you know, good for them. Back in April, we started a bridesmaid group chat to plan the cruise for October. One bridesmaid, Nina, lives in a different city and declined the trip, saying she can't afford to travel for it. No problem. The rest of us proceed to pick a date, book the cruise, settle up payment with Clara, and sign ourselves up for various extras. Stuff like brunch on the cruise, and I order matching t-shirts, which was my treat to the group. 3 weeks later, Nina gets FOMO and decides she wants to join us, but she can't do it on the weekend that we already booked. So she asks the whole group of 6 women if we can change the date. We all honestly consider this because Nina is an in-law for the bride and we know the bride would want her there, but the weekend Nina requested doesn't work for several of the others. Clara tells Nina we can't change the date at this point. That is when the drama begins. Nina starts a grudge against Clara about this, but we didn't know at this point how mad she was. Nina decides to make it work and adds herself to our cruise booking. Doing so adds a room adjoining and causes us to reshuffle sleeping arrangements, but we are all fine with this and excited that she can come. Plus, we all get some money back since we are all splitting the costs evenly. The process to make these changes is coordinated by Clara, who spends a lot of time on rebooking and cost calculations. I also ordered Nina a matching t-shirt, which has a custom design for each girl, and I spent a few days customizing Nina's designs to her specifications. Well, it turns out Nina has been on a lot of cruises and has loyalty points, so she then offers to take over reservations so she can use her loyalty status. We say, okay, cool, but this involves more coordination with Clara, who hands certain things over to Nina. Nina puts the main room in her name, uses that room to book a brunch reservation and a few special entertainment events under her name too. I can see that Clara is getting whiplash from plan changes and info overload from Nina. Clara's financial spreadsheet is starting to look like a choose your own adventure, but it's all good because things are moving forward. We have our bookings and we all have saved some money. So we all exhale, knowing that all the big stuff is planned. The group chat pivots to the fun stuff. Clara had suggested, and we all agreed prior to Nina being brought back in, that we will have a theme night called Into the Sunset, where we get all dressy in sunset colors, and the bride wears white with gold accents. We also plan to split the cost for a few bridal decorations for her room. Nina suggested we all wear a certain Amazon skirt with our matching t-shirt, but the idea was vetoed. The bride hated it, and we also told her we want to stay budget conscious and not go crazy on required matching outfits. So everyone can wear whatever bottoms they want with the custom shirt. Clara delivered this message. Nina felt shot down and apparently added this to her growing grudge, deciding that Clara hates her. Last week, we got a text out of the blue. It's Nina saying, "Please welcome my bestie Maria, who will be joining us on the cruise and staying in our room." I'm like, hold up. I'll talk to the bride, and she's very hurt. She feels like Nina is just there to experience another cruise vacation, not to celebrate her big day. Her inviting Maria solidified that feeling. Nina asked permission to bring her buddy for moral support because she felt Clara didn't like her, so she wants an ally. How old are we? The bride was so taken aback, and she said yes in the moment just to keep the peace, but feels really weird about it. But since she had said yes and it was her final call, we accepted Maria into the group with open arms. No reason to assume the worst about someone we've never met. Maybe she will be a fun new friend. Looking on the bright side, I order Maria a custom t-shirt, and Clara recalculates and sends another refund to each of us. I just realized I read it as Bridezilla sabotages Bachelorette. It's Bridesmaidzilla. I was like, wait a second. Nina sounds like the nightmare, not the bride. Bridesmaidzilla, you ding dong. The cruise is 8 weeks away now. In the group chat, Nina voices she can't afford to buy an outfit for the Into the Sunset theme night. Note that this theme night was Clara's idea. Clara responds that it can be any range of outfits. The color palette is pretty broad. It doesn't have to be a dress, could be pants or a cute sweater, anything. Clara is a huge thrifter, so she suggests thrift stores having something cool. Love me a thrift store. Well, that sets Nina off, and she starts blowing up my phone on the side, complaining about Clara being stubborn and insulting. She says the thrift store comment was uncalled for. I tell her there's no pressure to dress in a theme if she can't swing it. Then Nina says Clara has been difficult and can't take suggestions since day one when she refused to change the date of the cruise for her. I remind Nina that several of us couldn't make that date work, myself included, as we were locked in already. Nina then brings up the suggested Amazon skirts, saying that she was shot down due to people's budget, but Clara has no problem asking everyone to dress for her theme. I was not going to engage with bashing Clara on the side, so I shut it down with a gentle, let's just all move forward and have a great time together, supporting the bride because that's what we're there for. To which Nina did not reply. 3 days later, we get the news that our cruise has been fully canceled by Nina. Oh, I was not expecting that level of cuckoo bonkers. Since everything was rebooked in Nina's name, when she canceled it, all of the brunches and event reservations were also canceled. Nina did not notify us in the group chat, Clara or myself. No explanation or excuse or gracious remark. Just a big fat F you. She just disappeared from the plans and took her bookings with her. Now Clara is rebooking the entire cruise for us. Back down to the original group, no more Nina or her sidekick Maria. The kicker is that now all those brunch and event reservations are sold out. So we're too late to do all the things we had planned for the bride. Since we're back down to 6 girls, we all owe more money to Clara again, which I'm totally fine with because I feel like Nina would have been difficult on the cruise, so bullet dodged. But I'm honestly floored that a person who none of us other bridesmaids have ever met could conjure up so much perceived drama and then punish the whole group for it. I feel like I've been punked. Also, we are women in our 30s and 40s, if you can believe this. Oh my God, could never be. Y'all, I don't got patience for hardly anything, okay? Let alone Nina. Okay, we have an edit added to this. I don't want to hear anything else about Nina, okay? I wrote that Nina is an in-law to the bride, and some commenters assumed she's the groom's relative. Not the case. Nina is married to someone on the bride's side of the family. She is a current, not future, in-law of the bride, unrelated to the groom. But the groom is being rightfully supportive about this and even offered to treat us to a special dinner since we didn't get the special brunch on the cruise. He thinks the bride should not be so soft with Nina, but there's a lot of context that I won't get into here, other family trauma, and the bride is non-confrontational for many valid reasons of her own. I can't and I wouldn't ask for her to uninvite Nina to the wedding. Nina's husband, kids, and others are close to them. They are close family, and it would mean a ripple effect on all of them. Just trust when I say it's complicated and it's easy to say, uninvite this biatch if you haven't walked in the bride's shoes, so that's not an option. Well, yeah, I mean, ultimately her wedding day, if you still want her at the wedding after all that, by all means, but like, I don't want to talk to her. We'll just do a little cordial, you know? What's that I hear? It's time to board the hydration station, baby, and I am locked and loaded with the hydration station official cup. Cheers, drink your water. There's a hair on my cup. Rude. Are these not the most stunning flowers you've ever seen? One of my best friends sent them up here to Toronto. Is this not so pretty? All the orange, because she knows that's my favorite color. Oh my gosh, probably the prettiest flowers I've ever freaking seen. This? Next story. My parents don't want to come to my wedding if my brother can't come. My brother and I are 9 years apart and we were never close. I never could understand why, but my parents would always say we would get closer as we got older. That never happened. I have no memories of him at all from my childhood, and every time I'm forced to interact with him now as an adult, he is a total a-hole. He will gaslight me, never apologize, even when he's clearly in the wrong, and my parents just wave off his behavior as a personality quirk. A couple of years ago, his now ex-partner of over 10 years accused him of SA and filming her and other women having intimacy with him without their consent. These accusations horrified me. She was part of our family for most of my life, and while we weren't close, she was always very sweet and kind to me, unlike him. The civil suit is still ongoing between them as far as I know. I am having an extremely intimate wedding of 35 guests. I did invite my brother, but he never RSVP'd. When I told my parents he never RSVP'd, it was now nearly 2 months past the deadline. They reached out to him and he reached out to me. He blamed me for him not RSVPing, said the process had been too confusing, and he demanded a +1 for his girlfriend of 6 months, who is over 10 years younger than him, and also 3 months pregnant apparently. Also, he never even reached out with questions, and every other guest managed the RSVP just fine. Yeah, people do harder things. Open heart surgery, you know. I put my foot down and I said no. I don't want him there. My friends know how uncomfortable he makes me, and initially my parents said, while they were sad, they would ultimately respect my choice. Now, with about 2 months until my wedding, they have changed their minds. They won't come unless he does. I am heartbroken. They say that I'm being immature and disinviting him is a bridge too far. I am not a parent, but I'm trying to see their perspective. But I just can't shake how they always seem to minimize my emotions and make me the problem, even on my wedding day. Am I being unreasonable? Listen, at the end of the day, I say it about everyone's wedding. It's your freaking day. Your day. You pick who you want there. End of story. That's it. If some people aren't happy with that, let them be unhappy with that. That's not my emotion to carry, you know? I hate this stuff. It's your day. Your day. We have an update though, so maybe they worked it out or not. So we scheduled a family therapy session. Okay. My parents and my fiance and I, it went horribly. Never mind. I take my happiness back just there. I calmly explained that I expected my feelings and comfort would be prioritized on my wedding day. My mom very calmly said, "You were wrong," and it spiraled from there. My parents called me selfish, entitled, said my decision was disrespectful to them. They did not hold back. My fiance and I kept our composure and remained calm. They raised their voices and started mocking my therapist at one point. My mom even said my attention to all the little wedding details didn't bode well for my marriage. Honestly, this comment sticks with me the most. I am extremely detail-oriented. It's one of the things I love about myself. It's something important for my job, and it's important for all of my hobbies, so it felt extremely personal. After the therapy session, I texted every single member of my extended family who is coming to the wedding, and I let them know that my parents may not be coming to my wedding and the reason why. The outpouring of support I received was overwhelming and touched my heart. They assured me they were coming to the wedding for my fiance and I, not my parents or brother. As it frickin' should be. I've never been super close with my cousins or my aunts, but I've been following up and checking in with them more often now. About a week later, my mom called me and said they decided they wanted to come. My dad made it clear he was going to support his wife and that I ruined this experience for them. So that was fun to hear. My wedding is in 2 weeks. I am paying for no drama, but at this point, I've accepted that I can't control what they do. I'm still hyped to get married and see all my friends and extended family. My in-laws have really stepped up. My future mother-in-law checks in every week to see how I'm doing. My mom has not checked in. I'll let y'all know how the wedding goes. Please do. We have the update. All right, final update. Let's see how all this went down. As a precaution, a few days before the wedding, I sent my venue some press that my brother was featured in. Oh boy, his ex essentially called him a word I can't say in a national publication where his photo was shown so that they knew to watch out for him and what he looked like. At the end of the day, I was 95% sure that he wouldn't come. Growing up, he would never show up to events that I wanted him to attend, and my wedding was in an extreme remote location anyway, so I felt I had sufficient insurance. And I was right. He never showed up. Yay! Most of my stress was centered around my parents. I was concerned that they would cause a scene, but they were pretty withdrawn the whole day. But at every moment, I was low-key terrified that they would do something. So that was fun. But honestly, looking at pictures of the day, I look happy and relaxed. I absolutely love our pictures. Every vendor did a wonderful job, and I look back with mostly fond memories. Where my parents and I stand now. Weird. Before the wedding, I honestly would have thought they were my best friends. I felt like I could tell them anything. Therapy did not last long, but in our final session, I let my mom know that I felt fundamentally like they treat my brother and I very differently. Where they expected me to show up early, they were just happy if he showed up at all. If I had gotten pregnant at 25 to a man 11 years older than me on a first date, not 5 years after graduating from an Ivy League school they paid full price for, I knew they would not be excited for me. But for him, they are delighted. My brother and his fiance ended up getting married only a day or two after me in a nearby city by a justice of the peace. My parents attended, but to my knowledge, it was extremely small. She was 6 or 7 months pregnant at this point. I feel like the best friends I thought I had in my parents are now people whom I have major value differences from. I don't know how to reconcile the people I grew up with the people who've been crappy to me the last 9 months. I don't really call or text them anymore. Maybe this will change, I don't know. About the money. A lot of people called out the cost of my wedding, how my parents paid and therefore could call the shots. Oh, did they? Wait, I didn't see any of this. I will be honest, my parents are very wealthy, low 8-figure net worth. The amount they paid for my wedding literally meant nothing financially to them. Beyond this, I often wrestled with the concept that they paid, therefore it was their party. Oh, interesting. But that concept is so gross to me. If I threw a party for my friend, it would be so crappy of me to invite someone they had a horrible relationship with, even if I paid for every single thing. I would never do that to a friend. I said as much to my parents. I underscored that if I had known my wedding budget hinged on my brother's attendance, I would have never accepted a dime. They agreed putting conditions on the money retroactively was unfair. I know that's a big debate. Some people have said in my comments that if they're paying for the wedding, they get to plan it and they pick. Then I don't want it. You know, if there comes like terms and conditions with your kind gesture to help me with my wedding, take it. That's okay. No, thank you. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Go on, get.